Hello caffeine fiends and welcome to another coffee review video for www.getbean.com. I'm Vince the Mean Bean Machine and today we're looking at one of Rave Coffee's rare coffees. So this is their Colombia Finca Monte Blanco Coldwash. So it's a rare coffee because it's got a bit of information here. It's coffee processed using a cold fermentation stage to accentuate its floral and fruity notes. Now, when I open the bag, you open the bag and it has got a real floral, kind of almost a fizzy sense to it, a real fizziness in it. There is a real floral sense to it. As roasting was to use a fast roasting style which helps retain more of the aromatic compound, so it should remain very bright, very sweet on the tongue, and it's got notes of honeysuckle, lavender, lemon and the sweetness of candy floss grapes with an effervescent mouthfeel. So I guess that's that sort of fizziness like that of pink lemonade. So it's a very, very light roast. And it claims it's a rare coffee. So yeah, I've tried Rave coffees before. I really do like their stuff. They give 1% of their what they make back to environmental concerns, and they do great coffee. They're based out in kind of Gloucestershire, I think, Cirencester. So I bought this kind of bag of whole bean because I was interested by the rarity of it and by the tasting notes. So again, those tasting notes are nectarine, honeysuckle and pink lemonade. So quite light, bright, sweet tasting notes. So it could be really quite interesting. Now this bag of 250 grams cost me £15.90. So the cost of coffee is now effectively not quite doubled. You're paying half again of what you used to. But coffee is going up, and this is a rare one. So, I'm paying like 16 quid for 250 grams. It's a lot of money at the moment, but that is the cost of coffee. So I'm not complaining to them specifically. It's cost of living, cost of coffee, whatever. But since I started reviewing coffees for like £10 a bag, and to be fair, coffee producers over here have tried to keep inflation low, are passing on less of that cost. But that means, either they're losing out or the farmers are losing out. So, don't complain about your £5 coffee, from the coffee shop or whatever, because coffee should be that rate at the moment because it's harder to grow and there's so much happening. Globally, I've made some videos about it, but yeah, that's the cost of this bag of beans, £15.90, and then I also paid for delivery, so it's like a 20 quid bag of beans effectively. But as always, I'm very excited about this because I can smell that brightness coming off of it. It does have a sense of, when it says pink lemonade, I'm very dubious about that sort of tasting note, but I'm very kind of aware of that when I smell the beans and can smell the aroma coming off, certainly the espresso. So as always, I have an espresso and an oat latte and a glass of water to cleanse my palate in between. I think a lot of this will be lost in the oat latte, and I think it's probably a sin to put milk with a high quality rare coffee like this, but I'm going to give it a go with the espresso, give it a go as the oat latte, and have some feedback. So with the pink lemonade notes, the nectarine and the sweetness, I'm expecting something to kind of sit at the back of at the tip of the tongue, almost obviously it's not going to be fizzy, but it's going to have a light bubbly kind of higher top notes. So we'll see. So here goes. Chin chin. It's almost got an alcoholic essence to it, but that sense of kind of something grapey, something. Yeah, when it says pink lemonade, you smell it and you do go, yeah, I get that very much. Here goes. Ooh, so it is very light and bright. It sits more in the middle of the tongue than as far forward as I thought. And it doesn't kind of bite too much. It's very sweet and mild and a lot mellower than I thought, but really That, those floral notes really do come through when they say kind of lavender and honeysuckle. Yeah, I do kind of get those very floral notes. I guess there is an essence of something like a traditional lemonade, like a home brewed lemonade, or something, a flowery drink, on a hot afternoon. There is that essence of, I guess, a jug of something where you can see the floral elements to it. There is an essence of that, and I like that because it's definitive and it's definitely there, but it's really light and pleasant, and you could actually kind of, it's not too sweet, but it definitely has a distinct sweet flavour, and you could comfortably drink that quite a lot. It doesn't catch at the back of the throat, and it's just milder than I thought it would be. It's quite smooth and, yeah, really nice, actually. And I'm surprised that, like I say, I'm usually quite cynical about things that say, ooh, pink lemonade, or, candy floss grapes. It's a very distinct flavour, but you give that a sip and you go, yeah, I get that. That sort of sweet burst that sits at the front of the tongue. Yeah, really, really nice. That, really nice. I think in terms of the oat latte, you're going to lose all of that. You might get a bit of chocolatiness, but I think that's too light and too delicate to really work in a latte. I think. We'll give it a go. But I think that's one you definitely want just as a black coffee. We'll see. So here goes. Interesting. There is like a ring of, there is an element of that sweetness that sits right at the tip of the tongue that just kind of bursts through just as you start sipping. But yeah, in terms of if you're a regular milky drinker, you're not paying that much money to use that coffee. That is for long blacks and espressos. And the fruity, it's a soft, floral, sweet taste that is sort of lost. You do get a sort of sugary essence, like I say, right at the start, and then it's just lost in the milk. So a really excellent coffee, really lovely, really nice, something different. Really glad I picked it up. Very happy I will be. I think that would go well in a cold brew, so kind of light and floral, or coffee ice cubes. Yeah, that's really nice espresso, actually. And I'm not an espresso drinker per se, but yeah, I really enjoyed that. Oat latte, don't waste your time and money putting a milk with it. But yeah, if you want something slightly different, I think that's an excellent black coffee. Thank you for watching. Do hit those like and subscribe buttons. Find me at the Vince Wood on Instagram. Find us at Get Beaned Coffee on TikTok and at Get Beaned on YouTube. Hit those like and subscribe buttons. Check out www.getbeaned.com for coffee reviews and cafe reviews. And we'll see you all soon. Bye for now.